Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's start off with our opening prayer and then off we go. O great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives and we thank you for these good, good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen. Namaste. Okay, so let's draw our card for today. See what the angels have to say as the theme, because there's always undercurrents and themes. Oh, your questions are already coming in thick and fast. Okay, hi Sky. Can I have? Well, let's go 1 second. Can I have a last minute confusion? Of course you can. Of course you can. Shall I sign up for Medical Intuitive? I love you and your work. I don't know why I hesitate. Can you please help me? Thanks, Gabriella. You hesitate for the same reason that everyone hesitates, me included, whenever we're about to undertake a big shift. We doubt that we can do it. We are, we are afraid of our greatness and who we are. We know we're going to have to change. We're going to have to make space for our spiritual growth. I got the angel card higher education this morning, and it's incredible. I spoke to the ISET last night and to get the stuff moving for the instructor's level, and it's still at least a year and a half away, but it's moving, and my heart just went poof. And at the same time, like with you, I was like, my heart was like huge at the same time. Like, oh my God, can I really do this? Am I really ready for this? So I think all of us go through that when we know that we want a dream. We want it so badly. We want to be a medical intuitive, or we want to be the best healer that possible. And at the same time, we just don't believe that we're enough, or we don't believe that we have it in us, or we're dealing with these old trauma and wounds, right? So that's why you hesitate. It's also not a good enough reason. It's really not a good enough reason. And one of my biggest regrets in life is not having done as much of my growth as I could before life got really busy. And especially my son and my husband and stuff, my family, came along. So much doubt. I was so far behind because the card I drew for you, Gabrielle, is you found it. You find it. So you're one of mine. Drop me a DM. Okay, drop me a DM. We can have a chat. Don't worry. Okay. Sachin is above you and he's saying hi, or she's saying hi. Can I please get a reading? Yes, you can. Let's have a look at what the angels are saying. Sweetness. So you can see there's a mother deer and a baby deer inside this card. The angel almost looks like a Native American warrior. And there's this real energy of like nurturing and that really kind of sweet baby mother love that needs to be healed here. There's an energy of like life having lost its sweetness and almost like a bitterness kind of creeping in and bringing in this really deep purple indigo energy. I'm actually getting really strong you're an indigo child vibes, which I haven't had in a while. But when I said that out loud, my whole body, that was like a rush of shivers came over me. So the angels want you to know that you are an indigo. And I would go and have a look at books about indigo and rainbow children to better understand your life purpose. There's different types of indigo children. There's 3 different shades, as it were, of indigo or vibrations, and it will help you really understand. Oh, I'm getting another wave of goosebumps. It will help you really understand your divine life purpose and your mission on this earth. Okay. Storm is saying, hi, Sky. My love, I seem to have lost our connection. My love and I seem to have lost our connection to each other. Please ask the angels what we can do to get it back, or if it's too late for us. Okay, let me have a look. I'm immediately getting Archangel Raphael come in. So we're just going to do an energetic vacuum. I like the feeling that I'm getting when I'm tuning into your angels, like, the first thing they're saying to me really loudly is, "You've not asked us for help. Can you please invite us into your relationship? Can you invite us into, this particular argument? Can you invite us into ask us to help you recreate love?" So, the same way that when a soul is broken or a heart is broken, when love is lost or destroyed in a soulmate relationship, it cannot be, healed. It's like it's gone. You can't get it back. There's only a new love that can be born. So you can't get the old love back. And that's where so many people give up on relationships because, like, I fell out of love with them. And what they don't understand is that you're going to fall in and out of love many times with your partner over this lifetime, because many of us are in love with the person we met 5 years ago instead of who they are now. But falling out of love is the prerequisite to falling in love again with who they are in the present moment instead of who they were when you met, you know? So it's about not being afraid of letting yourself fall out of love and not being afraid of letting yourself fall in love again with the same person. But most people do this unconsciously. They just say they're going through a hard stage in the relationship, or they feel disconnected, or they're really distant from their partner, and then they find another way of falling in love, but they avoid the words of "I'm no longer in love" because it's in human culture, it's like if you say you're not in love with someone, then you shouldn't be in a relationship with them. But your angels are coming through really strong, and they're like this. You need to invite them in, and you need to ask for the love between you to be recreated. You need to ask for you and your partner to fall in love with each other again. Okay, and the card is optimism. Okay, the card is optimism, and it's your guardian angels that want to help. One of the things that I do with my husband consistently is I will ask my angels to talk to his angels and to tell him what's going on in my life, to tell me what's going on in his life, to help him, like, to kind of like show him the shifts in vibration that I've had that day, to give him the same downloads that I had, the same growth, so that we are then growing together. But I give it to his angels because I know that they'll know what to share, what not to share, what's in his divine timing, what's not. Um, so I'm always talking to his angels, and especially if we have an argument or a fight, it's the first thing that I do is I go, "Can I please speak to my husband's guardian angels? This is what's going on. This is my side. This is his side. But we need real communication. We need real love. We need support, and we need the energies to calm down, because one of the things that also makes the darkness tremble is real love, and especially real spiritual men and women, real light workers creating families. Because then you're raising children who are emotionally strong, spiritually strong, physically strong, academically strong, and society will not be allowed to disable your children the way that it's allowed to disable other people's, because you are not going to you've got that divine protection in place, and you're not falling for the narrative. So there's a lot about raising strong children and having two parents that are not just in love but who are awake. So definitely, there's definitely room for optimism here, but they're like, the angels are also saying, like, the pride, put down the pride, and focus on really learning to love unconditionally and be loved unconditionally, and allowing the relationship to be different than you expected it to be. Comparison is a bitch, even when it comes to comparing your partner to your dream partner that you made in your head when you were like 16, 17 years old. Okay. So it's about letting go of the dream so that you can fall in love with the person that's standing in front of you. And let them be enough. And let yourself discover who they are now, because it's going to change. That's the other big thing that really keeps our relationship fresh, is realizing that you don't get up to the next to the same person every morning. And that you do have to make an effort to get to know them again. That's why they say that dating keeps couples together. It's not really about the romance or about the sexuality. It's the understanding that you have to get to know your partner, and that they do change throughout life, and that they are a different person. So that if you don't get to know them, one day you wake up in bed next to a stranger and you don't know how it happened. But people do change, regardless of what everyone says. People do change. Not necessarily the way that you want them to, but they do change. So it's important. But optimism was your card. So 100%, there's a chance here for reconciliation, for the love to be reborn. But the conversation needs to start with you making a decision that that's what you want, right? Are you going to fight for this relationship, for your love? Are you going to not just say it? Are you going to actually do the aligned action, so that the relationship shifts? Those are the questions you have to ask yourself. Or are you too angry? Are you too disappointed? Have you already decided you're not in love with this person anymore? Right? So it's kind of like that deep moral inventory. Hi, Sky, it's Carolina. I wanted to ask if there is any lower vibrational energy in my house and in my car and how I can shift this. I feel different when I get home. Thank you. We're just going to call on Archangel Michael. And anyone who wants this, just say yes. And Archangel Michael's going to come in and just energetically vacuum your house, your room, kitchen, living room, garden of any negative energies, of any entities, earthbound spirits, of anybody else's emotional dumping, any psychic attack. I'm going to do this from my parents' house as well, because that's where I am today. And for my home, whew, for all businesses, email addresses, social media accounts, DMs. Okay. That's looking a lot better. Thank you for that one. I think we all needed a space clearing today. Hi, Sky. I'm looking for some guidance on launching my astrology and tarot business. Is this divine timing to launch, please? Thank you so much. Let's have a look. Don't compromise. What I'm getting, which is quite interesting, I don't normally get, what I'm getting is that you already have a date in mind and that it's something to do. I don't know if it's to do with the spring equinox or if it's the summer solstice, but there's something to do with you having a specific sacred dates already chosen in your head and people pressuring you to launch sooner or not to wait. So you guys see how I do my launches. I do my launches as a byproduct of nurturing and loving on and blessing my community, right? So I am not launching per se. I'm just letting you guys know that this is the program I'm running or this is what I'm doing, and communicating about it clearly so that I attract the people that it can serve and that it's a vibrational match with. And when it comes to any kind of card deck or book, or you want to make sure that the guidance that you're getting is the guidance that you listen to, and you can pre-launch in the sense of, even if you want to, like, open cart on spring equinox or summer equinox or whatever sacred date or portal is coming through, like let's say you want to do it on Lion's Gate or you want to do it on what's it called, winter solstice, which is today, right? You can start having the conversation and open it up for pre-orders now, so the sales are coming in, but you're not you are still following your divine guidance, and you still have time to prepare and add any tweaks or um make any changes that you want to make for then. And what's interesting is Amazon actually counts these pre-orders before on the day you actually open the cart, as it were. So it can be a very good way of launching. But they're showing me you're waiting for a specific date, and they're saying don't compromise, and the card underneath is your leader, right? So don't compromise, hold your ground. But they're saying it doesn't have to block your income stream, as it were. Just choose the date that you were told to choose, and then open it up as a pre-order, so that people can start ordering them in advance, so that they when it comes out, you already have orders, you already have sales. Okay, I'm just going to release your fear as well. So it's not the other thing I'm going to speak to this because I think it's an important topic for a lot of people right now, is that it's not about it's not about the launch. It's about your energy, right? A launch is just a way of the marketing world describing you introducing a new product, a new session, a new book, a new card deck, a new manual to humanity. So it's not like this idea that if you do everything perfect, it will guarantee, a good outcome. Perfection and excellence are two very different things. Um, if you are showing up, if you really love the product that you've created and you really know that it will serve, if you are talking about it with clarity, right? Then that's the basics. And it's more than enough. You don't need to make things complicated, but you do need to be consistent. So we've talked about that a lot on here. Trust is a big deal. You do need to be consistent in how you show up. Okay. Oh, Matthias is saying, hi, beautiful sky. Is there anything your angels want me to know? My angels. Let's ask about your angels. Oh, blessings of abundance. So let's just release any fears that you have hanging around about money and about being able to provide for others. So this is like this, the vibe that's coming up around this is not around providing for yourself. It's around being able to provide for other people at the level that you want to be able to provide for other people. That's actually a very beautiful thing. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps all over. So anyone that's worried about not being able to provide for their children, can we release that, please? Whoa. Okay, and what the angels are saying to me is actually very sweet. They're saying, do you really think that God wouldn't provide more than what you need and more than what these people need? You've just not asked. You've asked for enough for you. You haven't asked for enough for others. So can we ask? If you haven't asked and you want to provide for your children or for a charity or for a healing retreat or for employees, if you haven't asked, can we ask now? There we go. Whoa, you guys, for the love of God, your angels are like, bah, in my ears. Like the noise just went from being like angels talking and singing to being like, shh. Like the excitement was electric. Like they really want you to get this message, which is please ask. They're like, we are standing here, we want to help, and you're just not asking. Can you please ask us for help? Because they can't come in, they will not violate your free will, right? So start asking them for help. Just a 5 seconds in the morning to go, angels, can you please be with me and help me with every problem throughout my day and bless every good part of my life? Remind me to ask you for help. Remind me of God's presence. Just those 3 seconds will change your life forever. Please ask them. They're like standing there going, come on. You guys know that they're there. Just start using them. Okay. Start using them. Okay, Sarah Burney is saying, hi, Sky. Can my angels illuminate me about how my psychic skills help me in my life in a practical way as well as the spiritual? I'm not sure what that question is. I'm going to read it again. Hi, Sky. Can my angels illuminate me about how my psychic skills help me in my practical life as well as your spiritual? Um, Psychic skills are useful for everything. They're useful for you figuring out what choices you're going to make in a day. Whether or not something's going to go to plan or not go to plan. The number of times my angels tell me, to wait half an hour, and then on the radio I hear there's been an accident or there's been a traffic jam. The number of times my angels tell me to, pick up dinner on the way home or do the shopping tonight instead of leaving it for Friday when I have it planned, and then it snows or there's a flood and I've got food in the house because I listened to their guidance. The number of times that they tell me to go and connect with my husband and something's just happened that I would never have known about if I hadn't stopped and gone and connected with him. Even them telling me to use the cards. You guys have seen me doing reading after reading, not using cards. And then suddenly they were like, no, we want you to start using the cards now and the specific deck, and how much it's supported me and you in this process, right? So your psychic gifts are there to make your life easier, to help you avoid obstacles and problems that you would otherwise run into. Many, many, many. But they're also there to bless humanity and to bless the world, because you're able to see things and change things and become aware of things that other people aren't able to become aware of. But I use it for everything, from choosing what I should have for dinner to choosing, when I'm going to do the shopping or the laundry, or connect with my son, or whether I'm going to sleep or whether I'm going to stay awake. So psychic gifts are incredibly useful. But, and I say this with a huge but, is that you don't want to throw your pearls to the swines. A lot of people don't believe in psychic gifts, and a lot of people that do believe in psychic gifts are so stuck in poverty consciousness that they just want to use people that have psychic gifts. And they get really angry or upset if you have boundaries, in the sense of, you're not answering a DM at 1 o'clock in the morning, or you're not doing free sessions anymore. Or so with your psychic gifts, you have to know their worth, and you have to make sure that you have boundaries, because the people that take don't have any boundaries, and they think that you owe them, which is a very entitled way of living. But that's how a lot of people live. They think if you have a gift, then you have to give it to them, and it's not the way it works. You choose when to use your psychic gift and how to use it. So you need to have boundaries, and to know who and when to share your psychic gifts with. Hi Sky, having fear regarding finances. Any guidance, please? Been your fan such a long time. So grateful. Let's have a look at what comes up. We've already had one clearing around finances. I have no doubt the angels are going to give us something else juicy. Sweetness. So this card's come up twice in today's reading, so I'm going to go ahead and say it's an undercurrent that's going on for the whole group, everybody here that's receiving angel readings, that life is not sweet, and the angels are showing me it's like a part of burnout. So today is the winter solstice, and the message of winter is that like rest, like deep divine rest, and that rest is receiving, and that rest is a part of manifestation. So that your meditation when you're resting is an act of manifestation. You sleeping and getting enough rest is an act of manifestation. You baking and painting and creating for the sake of joy is an act of manifestation. So can we just release everything, the way this financial anxiety is stopping you from enjoying everything else in your life, the way this financial anxiety has become pervasive? Can we release it now? Okay, that's looking a lot better. Okay. Hi Sky, thank you for these angel readings. We had an incident with a neighbor during the night. I did an energetic cleanse of the house and space around, healing demons. Colors blue, purple, silver, white, gold. Can the angels tell me if I managed to clear all the negative energy from last night? Thank you. They're showing me that you need to act. They're showing me you're almost there, but they're showing me you to run the same energies through the floor of the house. Like really run it through the floor and the foundations. Like you're energetically only including like the walls and the roof. You're not actually including the foundations and the earth underneath the house. And to actually put up an aura of protection around the house. Right? So I'm just going to ask Archangel Michael to do that for you now, and Archangel Raphael to do that for you too. Okay, all good. Anyone else that wants that, just say yes, and it's going to get done. Okay, so hi Sky, I'm leaving with a serious obsession. My parents went down and nothing happened in their life after 50. No job, nothing special. I'm at a cross paths in my life and I'm wondering what's next for me. Thanks. Okay, I'm going to pull out an angel card. But just in case, you guys can see my face, right? It just triggers the bejesus side of me when people ask me questions like that. I'll explain why in a minute. Just putting my stuff on the coat hanger so I can let the angels do their thing. Okay. You found it. So you found it is a card that says you already have it, right? And I- the reason that it triggers me so much when people ask me what's next for me is that it comes from a place of no responsibility for you as a creator, right? What's next for you is a decision you have to make. The whole universe will move for you if you tell it what you want. But first, you have to tell it what you want. And you can ask God and the angels to show you what would be good. You can ask God and the angels to show you their vision for your life. But a huge part of the desire that was put in you comes from, really deeply comes from um, what you were supposed to do. The things that excite you, the things that light you up, the things that ignite you are not random. They were put in there before you were even born so that you would be able to shine that particular light or vibration into your life. So if you want a beautiful life, then you have to create a beautiful life. What does that look like for you? And it is different. Like a beautiful life for me is different than a beautiful life for my father, for my mother, for my son, for my husband. You are unique. You were made unique. So, what does a beautiful life look like for you? And most people don't create a life after 50. In fact, most women don't create a life after 35, which is absolutely insane, right? We are being given an opportunity to rewrite our story, right? To manifest 2023. We're moving into Christmas, we're moving into New Year with this really powerful energy of what story it's and this belief of it's time for a new story. What story do you want to write? What do you want the next chapters to hold? Right? Do you want the last decade of your life to have romance? Do you want it to have sex? Do you want it to have health? Do you want it to have adventure? Do you want it to have education and revelations? Do you want it to have incredible friendships? And what do you have to change? Who do you have to become now for that to be available to you? And it's one of the reasons I eat healthy. It's one of the reasons I exercise every single day. It's one of the reasons that I meditate because I'm playing a long-term game and I want my health to last for the rest of my life, right? So that's a conscious decision I make because I have created teaching and healing and connection and friendships and desire and romance until the day I die. That is what I have chosen. That is what I want. At no point in my life is retirement written down. Okay, so it's the same thing. You have to get to a point where you choose, right? So what's next for you? What do you want? Right? What do you want? Because nobody can make you want what you don't want. And one of the biggest blocks to manifestation, because people are scared of failing, is that they never write down what they want. Okay, so there's two techniques that I use. One is making a list of the things that I want to have in my life, right? And then the other is I write the story of my life as if it's already happened, right? As if I got the modality approved, as if I got my as if I am training the best medical intuitives in the world and they're going out there and building their hospitals and they are serving humanity, as if I did completely heal my relationship with my friendships and with my family, as if I write it as if it's already happened. So first I write what I want, and I will normally write it once, leave it for 24 hours, and then come back to it because there'll be things that I need to add or take away. And then I write it as if it's already happened, and the feelings that I felt, and the peace that I felt, and the joy that came, and how life changed because those manifestations came into being, right? And then the other thing that I do, which I'm kind of embarrassed about telling you, but I'm going to tell you anyway, is I sing. I sing I sing songs to God because I find that when I sing, I'm able to tap into that my deep love and reverence and joy in a way that I'm not able to do when I'm not singing or when I'm speaking ordinarily. So those are the three steps to me for manifesting, and manifesting very quickly and manifesting very rapidly. Yeah, so that's what I do. My husband, when he's doing his manifestations, he literally imagines fireworks going off like going pew, 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 pew. You know, like exactly like New Year's Day or like a birthday, like celebrating these things already having happened, celebrating um, um, humanity having received what it was supposed to receive and these changes having been made. But that's how I do my year's manifestation. So I hope that helps with what's next and how you can step into your power and start creating it from a conscious perspective. And do some of my mushroom coffee. Hi, Sky. Even though I does have much work or responsibilities, I feel stressed regardless. What can I do to change that? Sadly, all forms of hemp oil are not legal here. Thank you. So when you can't use any kind of hemp oil, I would use copaiba oil. It's one of the most powerful anti-inflammatories, nervous system oils that there is. But I would also work on the nervous system, and the two most powerful the things I use to work on my nervous system is ice baths, breath work, and meditation. So it's like I do a three-pronged approach, and I do it together. So I will sit, I will do my breath work. I'm personally a fan of the Wim Hof method. That's what I use. And I will do like the fire breathing. And once I've done the fire breathing for like 3 rounds of breathing. He teaches you this for free on YouTube, and he has a really good Facebook community as well. It's a type of fire breathing, and that works for me because part of my problem is like my triple warmer, which is the meridian that works with your immune system, is the bit that like goes up wonky when I'm really stressed. And I am very, very, very sensitive. I'm not a little bit sensitive. So the slightest vibration that's not right used to throw me off. It took a lot of discipline for me to be this strong, because it really needed to be trained, right? So I will do the breath work. As soon as the breath work's done, I will meditate for 10 to 15 minutes, and then I will get inside the cold bath. Okay. So that's how I do it. And the bath forces your nervous system to recalibrate. It takes away, like, all the blood moves from your extremities, from your hands and from your feet, and floods into your internal organs, which then brings back all the nutrients and all that, which is exactly the opposite of what it does when your nervous system is in fight, flight, freeze. When your nervous system is in fight, flight, freeze, all the blood moves to your extremities. You get ready to run, you get ready to fight, you get ready to defend. um so when you go into like an ice bath, or you use a cold shower, suddenly all your blood floods back towards your internal organs. Your whole nervous system recalibrates, your adrenal glands relax, your body floods you with serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, which it like almost 3 times as much as taking an antidepressant. And there's in his book Iceman, he goes into depth about the science of what actually happens and how the cold heals, right? And then after that, you have to stay under the cold bath. And cold bath is like 8 minutes. Cold shower is like you start with 3 minutes a day or something like that. But those are the three that I use. And copaiba oil, I use the doTERRA one because I know that's food grade, to be ingested. It also helps repair the damage that was done. Things like mushroom coffee, reishi, lion's mane, chaga, are also amazing for repairing the nervous system. But sleep is a huge deal as well. Sleep is a huge, huge deal. So making sure you're getting quality sleep, making sure that you're actually wearing an eye mask, though you're not, you're going into deep sleep and you're not being affected by any light pollution inside the room, making sure that you have a good sleep routine and that you're getting into bed around 9 so that you can fall asleep at around 10. And that you're actually, one of the other things that I do that I think probably has saved my nervous system's life is that I do forgiveness work every night before I go to bed. When I'm in the shower, sorry, not when I'm shower, when I'm in the bathroom brushing my teeth, after I've dealt with, kitchen and nursery toys and hubby and all that stuff, when I have that last 20 minutes to myself, I will do that Course in Miracles exercise of who have I not forgiven? And then I'll send them colors and I'll give them into God's light, and I'll ask God to show me what are the miracles in, the madness or the pain, and I will let it go, or release them, right? So that's a very powerful thing as well, is that I'm not carrying the dirt from yesterday onto today as much. And sometimes a person will show up in my forgiveness exercises for a whole month or for a whole year. And sometimes they'll only show up for a day. So I'm always asking Creator, who have I not forgiven? But those are the ways that I regulate my nervous system. Kate Hodge is saying, just holding space today. So excited for today. Sending everyone so much love and light. Sending blessings to you all. Yeah, I'm going to do the prize draw at the Body Whispering. Body Whispering Live the afternoon is when I'm going to do the prize draw. But don't worry, if you win, we'll obviously DM you because we're giving away the Medical Intuitive scholarships today. We're doing the prize draw at the Body Whispering Live this afternoon. So we're going to see who's going to win our full scholarship to Medical Intuitive. Today is closed cart, guys. Just so you know, today is closed cart for Medical Intuitive. So if you want to get onto this course in January, then please message, DM. We'll get you into the discovery calls. We'll get it all organized. Yeah, today is the last day. So please, please, please contact me instead of having a panic, Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or whatever. Just DM me and we'll get it organized now before the cart closes. And what else was I going to say? The prices for spring are going to increase next year. The prices for the next cohort are going to increase. So if you want to get in the next round, so if you want to start Medical Intuitive in the spring with me and you want to pay the price that it is now, then contact me so we can get you to put down a deposit, and then you don't get the price increase that everybody else gets, just so you know. Okay, Barbara, can you give me a healing or make changes for Candida cleanse with my real husband? He doesn't get it and he can be difficult as I try these things before ill with it. Okay, so this is the issue. So to get rid of your Candida, you need to work on the rage, the rage at the masculine for not respecting you, not validating you, undermining you. And this is like inherited mother rage and grand rage as well. So can we do that now, please? Okay, so you're in denial and your angels are like knocking on your energy and you're going, it's not that bad. I don't actually hate. I'm not actually that angry. Sorry, but it is that bad. You are that angry and your angels can't get to it unless you just say, please help me. It is that bad, right? It's literally causing Candida in your body. It is that bad. Can we just release the shame of it being that bad? You're not a bad person for really being angry. Okay, it's a lot of neglect. It's a lot of being hurt. It's a lot of being misunderstood, of being undermined, of being disrespected. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps everywhere. There we go. Ooh, thank you. The angels are doing like a happy dance. Okay. Hi, Sky. Why am I resisting clients and money? Okay, let's draw you a deck, my dear. Let's draw you a card, my dear. But immediately when I'm speaking to your guardian angels, what they're saying to me is you're afraid that you can't get them the results. There's a part of you that feels like you don't really do anything, or that you don't see how amazing your gifts are. You can't. One of the things that comes from you recognizing your own gifts is that you are then not afraid of sharing them with others. But if you think your gifts are false, if you think they're not real, if you think they're not that special, then it creates this imposter syndrome. And then you are afraid of talking about what you do or sharing what you do with others. Oh, interesting. Sleep. So the card that's coming up for you is telling you that, oh, I get it, that you are asleep to your own power, that you're asleep to who you really are. And like I told you guys, one of my soulmates once said to me, you have no idea who you really are. And it infuriated me at the time. It infuriated me, but he was right. Okay. So can we show you who you really are? And can we give you the courage to go back and look at your childhood, to all the places where nobody saw you. Nobody saw you as a healer. Nobody saw you as a spiritual teacher. Nobody nurtured that. Nobody trained you. Nobody taught you. Nobody validated it. Nobody gave you that gold star for being clairvoyant or clairsentient or psychic. Okay, that's looking good. Oh, can the angels show you that you are really good as a healer? That you really can help people? That you don't have to have your whole life together before you can help someone else. You just have to call God in and call the angels in. It's not a lack of authenticity to help somebody in an area of their life before you've got that area of your life in order. And unless you're lying about it, right? Unless you're pretending that it's already sorted when it's not, or that you're perfect and other people aren't, which isn't a very good way of doing your marketing or showing up anyway. But nobody has all their life sorted out. Okay, everybody has strengths in different areas, and even when you do have your life sorted out, there's still moments of up and down, right? So many times in my life, especially when I was asleep to being a medical intuitive, I remember being in hospital and helping the other patients in my ward with pain management because I was doing EFT on myself, and they were like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, it's an acupressure technique called EFT. I want to reduce the amount of, drugs that I have to take, and it's really effective." And then suddenly there were like, I think 7 people tapping with me, and their pain that hadn't been alleviated was gone very quickly. And I remember being angry because my pain wasn't gone, but I still helped them. Right? And I watched so many people heal when I was still sick, and I still had that vow that I couldn't help myself. I didn't know what it was, but it didn't stop God from helping other people. So the book Think and Grow Rich, I think it is, the author of that used to park their old dingy car around the back of the building because he was so embarrassed of his car and of not having money when he started teaching abundance principles to his audience, right? Um, Anthony Robbins and one of my favorite authors, started off their journey homeless. So there is a distance between who you are and who you want to become. And you don't become a spiritual teacher and a healer unless you actually start telling people that that's who you are. And you also start showing up with the work that you do. So a lack of authenticity is about you lying about parts of your story, or you're pretending you already have it together. Instead of going into that energy, you just want to share your actual story. You want to share how far you have come. You want to share the things that you have resolved. You want to share what's going on for you. Trust doesn't require perfection. Trust requires that people get to know you, that they get to trust you. Okay. And there are some incredible coaches that I know who don't have the area that they teach about sorted out. I know incredible relationship coaches that are single. I know incredible financial coaches that haven't completely sorted out their finances. What you teach can be completely correct and you not be at the level that your student is. And if you think I'm crazy, just look at a coach, right? Most football coaches will never reach the level that their players reach, but they're still very good coaches. Okay. Anthony Robbins coaches the president of the United States, and he will never be the president of the United States. So your zone of genius is connecting with your higher power, bringing in healing energies. You don't require to compare yourself with what other people have achieved, or you require to be yourself and to do what God tells you to do instead of waiting. Okay. But you are ready. Your angels are 100% telling me that you're ready. It's time. It's time. Beautiful love. What are the important guides to follow from the angels and God for 2023? Thank you, and very important. I have had talks and I'm agitated and connected to decisions in the sphere of spiritual investment to have clients. Now that I do not have the money, do I have to do I have to make that commitment? Thank you. Let me reread that again. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to draw a card. I'm going to draw a card. Retreat. So it's you're literally being told to join a retreat or to go on a retreat. Um, and the energy that the angels are showing me is like the energy of me deciding to go to become a teacher, and like you said, not having the money. But I had to find the money because, I wasn't going to get into theta healing teachers trainings without having that money. I had to go down to the bank. I had to open my overdraft. I had to decide, to trust. And there are many times in my life where that's happened. I had to do that before I went to university when I took out student loans. I had to do that when you want to buy your first home, you have to get a mortgage. So that a part of making these decisions is understanding the difference between good debt and bad debt, and also understanding the difference between like making a plan, not just a woo-woo plan, but making a real plan for how you are going to pay your bills, whether that's getting a job, whether that's starting seeing clients, whether that's running a workshop or retreat, whether that's teaching, is making a plan, because that plan calms you down and it stops your ego from going, I don't know how to do this, I can't do this, and going into complete panic mode. And you go, okay, so I'm borrowing this, I'm borrowing this so that I can make this investment. And then when that investment comes in, this is what I'm going to pay off, and this is how I'm going to manage it, and this is where it's going to go. So there is a difference between good debt and bad debt. In my opinion, good debt is equity, so things like property, index funds, what's it called, education, and what's the word, health. Those for me are like things, and yeah, they just are, and that for me, across the board, you can actually look at your bank account and you will see what you believe investments are. Where you spend your money is what you believe investments, where your investments are. And the things that I spend the most money on, my education, the education of my son, right? And he's not even 2 yet, and I still focus on getting him the very best education possible, period. Um, Property, index funds, things like, investment apps, and so that you can actually start getting a return on your savings, or that's in another place where my income goes. And property, because it's, I want to have hospitals, I want to have healing retreats, I want to have schools, and all of those require real buildings, not just virtual spaces. But when you are financially illiterate, it's very hard to know what's a good investment and what's not. So there's a very good book called How to Handle Your Money Like an Effing Grown Up. I'll put the link inside the comment section. I know, Mira, I know I need to put yours on yesterday's one, okay? It's in my brain. Yesterday, just so you guys know, yesterday energetically, my to-do list got completely insane. And I was still doing meetings with the IICT, because they're in New Zealand from 10 to 11. I didn't stop until very late. So my plans for yesterday evening kind of got skewed. So bear with me. I'm playing catch up today and tomorrow. But yeah, so it's that energy of deciding what you're willing to invest in and what you're willing to go into debt for. And, it's a very easy concept to understand, but just think the way where it's most accepted is around houses, right? Everybody knows they're going to have to get a mortgage to get a house. A lot of people go into debt to get a car, but that's not a good investment, right? So with investments, you want to think ROI, which is called return on investment. When you invest, what's it going to bring? So for example, I spent the money to the teacher training qualifications. I knew that I would have to run 4 theta healing classes with at least 15 students to be able to pay that back within 6 months, including the interest. And I knew what I was going to have to manifest, and it was already in motion when I made that decision, right? But I also knew that by stepping into teachers or instructors or getting my qualifications, I would then be able to charge more for my services. And I would also, that's another thing that I learned from a coach last year that I thought was really good, is that every new qualification that you get increases your value, increases your worth, because it increases the speed at which you can do your work, the efficiency at which you can do your work, and the rate at which you can get the client results, right? But it is starting to think about it as an investment. It is starting to think about it as a business. and everybody is unique. So I can't give financial advice, right? It's the same way that I can't give legal advice and I can't give medical advice. I can tell you my opinion, and then you have to go and see, does this work for my life? Does this work for, that's the bit that's yours. The bit that's mine is I can say that those are the things that I value. That's the way that I worked myself out of poverty. That those are the decisions that I made that put me in a financially stable and secure situation. And it did require a lot of reading, it did require a lot of studying, and it did require risk. There was no way out of it without risk. There just wasn't. But I also very much had to change my behavior. I had to learn new skills. I had to start showing up, which was very vulnerable in the beginning. But there you go. I hope that helps. Woo! Okay, we've got two more. Who's this for? This is for Barbara. So before we even look, so far I haven't found a colonic therapist locally and wondered if oxy powder will be just as good and aligned for me. Can you recommend a good kind of oxy powder? There's only the one that we use is from the Global Health Center. There's from the Global Health Center. I'm going to take notes of the links because otherwise I will start forgetting. So for Mira, we needed her hormones. Whoop, boomba. That's what I say when my son drops something. And that's what I say when I drop something. So we needed the hormones. We needed the oxy powder. I used the oxy powder from the Global Health Center. It's not the same because water is a very healing force, and the oxy powder it can't claw the stuff that's stuck onto the walls of your intestines off the same way. But it's really a lot better than nothing, right? It's really a lot better than nothing. If you can't get to a colonic hydrotherapist, I suggest you get an enema kit. Okay, I suggest you get an enema kit, and proceed from there, basically. But let me put it this way, and this is super important, right? This is super important, so I'm just going to say it, and it is what it is. When it comes to your health, it is the most important thing on the planet. So if you are not close to a colonic cleanse, then take a weekend, drive somewhere that can do this for you, stay over the weekend and get your colonics done on the weekend. But please don't make excuses for not making your health a priority. Your gut is one of the most important organs that you have. Your neglect of it over many years has meant that it's not doing well. And now it needs you to make time for it, more time for it than if you had implemented something like oxy powder or enemas or something like psyllium husk or regular parasite cleanses earlier. Now it needs you to go. Now it needs you to make it a priority before something potentially more negative could occur. So please do what you need to do. You've been guided to get colonics. Please make sure that you get the colonics, even if that means losing 4 weekends or whatever. Go, please go. Please go. It's essential for your well-being. Okay. Hi Sky, I'm struggling to find the bottom beliefs that are blocking me progressing. I've cleared a lot of surprising stuff, but I've run out of questions to test for. Can the angels help me, please? Making progress. Okay, angels. My guardian angels are like doing like one of those Disney dances, and they're like action, 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 action. So I know that it's like divine action, that you are not taking action. Healing is not enough. Healing is not enough. Healing is a part of the process. Healing is what allows you to access the inner reserves that you need. But it's not enough. You have to take regular and consistent action. You have to. Love of God. Oh, so you're in for you and creator session. So I would look at the places in your childhood where people made you afraid of God or put the fear of God in you. Whether that is when they were teaching you that Jesus got crucified, or that you would go to hell, or that God was angry, so he sent plagues. Where is it that you were taught to fear God? Because it's blocking your capacity to receive God's love and to give God love. And that relationship, the relationship is in your head and not in your heart. Energy break. Thank you. I feel the difference. Yeah, angels and God, you do immediately feel the difference. These readings do make a difference. They are incredibly powerful. They're simple, but they are fierce. Hi, Sky. Can I please have a reading and a healing for my car? Yeah, okay. Angels, car angels, can you please do a healing on car? Getting Archangel Metatron coming in here. He really likes his cars and his engineers. Oh, generosity. So we're back to the money blocks, but you can see this man is praying and he very much looks like Santa Claus, right? So they're saying that you need to pray over your car. And there's an energy of you resenting commuting, of you resenting the amount of driving that you're doing, you're resenting the amount of time that you're spending in your car, and around like lacking generosity of spirit. So can we like resenting fixing your car? So people treat their cars often the same way that they treat their bodies. So they resent investing in them. They resent that they have to do the MOT. They resent that they have to wash it and take care of it and all that stuff. So can we release all this resentment that you need a car, have a car, that it's expensive, that you have to pay for the insurance, that it gets dirty like this? Because the car serves the same way that your body serves. We spend a lot of time in our cars. So can we release all the resentment towards the car for being an expense? There we go. Okay. Hi, Sky. Requesting love, healing, and support for a project I'm doing to bring in donations for the NGO I work with. Please share what's your guidance. Okay. Oh, okay. Triumphant. Triumphant. So the angels are saying you're going to succeed and to keep talking about it, keep selling it, keep showing up. There's an energy of, I think you may not have had reached the level that you want to reach, but they're saying don't stop until the doors are actually closed. And there's also an energy of like you're blocked from selling. There's an like a lot of people, if you've seen this, like when people are wanting donations for charity and they stand in the street like with their buckets, and their energy is like they kind of want to talk to you and they want to get a donation from you, and that taking energy scares people off, right? It stops people from approaching, and it makes them go, oh, that person's like, going to try and get money from me. So you want to talk about how much you love this cause. You want to explain to people why it's of service. You want to be selling from a place of teaching instead of selling from a place of guilt or taking. So let's just shift that energy so that you can bring in more donations. Okay, beautiful. Let's do our closing prayer. O great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives and we thank you for these good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste. Oh, last thing. The Body Whispering Masterclass tonight is free. Okay, so if the reason you're not signing on is because of money issues, get your butt there because the one we're doing tonight is free. Okay, I love you all. See you from 4